IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We're here at the studio, which is in its new location at 598 Main Street in downtown Laconia, New Hampshire. The studio is a boutique and gift shop with unexpected treasures at every turn. So come on in. The new location is awesome, right in the heart of downtown Laconia. Like I always say, please support not just local music, but your local businesses as well. It's important. And thestudionh.com is a website if you want to check it out online. Also, of course, we're sponsored by Central NH Events. If you need a DJ for your event, go to centralnhevents.com. Tim Martin does a phenomenal job. Tweak Sound and Mastering, tweaksound.com is the website if you need some audio production done. And we are joined this week with Cameron MacMaster is our guest. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
Very well. And you have accompanying with you Shane Carter, who we were talking about off the air, because I said when you walked in, you looked familiar, right. Formerly of the band Turtlebone.
Yeah, I was with them many years ago now.
Yes. And now you're playing mandolin for Cam, so that's great. So It's wonderful to have you guys here.
Thanks, Matt.
And how long have you been playing together?
We just started a few months ago, actually.
It's been like 6-7 weeks.
Wow. Okay.
Has it been just that?
I think that's about it. Yeah.
So
okay, let's call it 2 months then.
2 months.
So I don't sound like such a liar, probably. And Shane also plays, I think, every instrument that has strings on it. And
here and there.
Yeah.
A flute that we can't talk about.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
He doesn't like that being mentioned.
Working on the wind instruments as well, right?
Yeah,
no kidding.
The wind flute, yes.
You're one of those like super talented guys.
No,
I'm always jealous of people who can play like a lot of different instruments.
Yeah. Humble, extra talented guys.
Yeah.
No, I just have musical ADD. I can't. Can't stay on one.
Yeah. Well, this is cool because you guys are going to play live for us tonight, in addition to the interview. So we always enjoy that. And this will be the first live performance that we've recorded here at the new location.
Nice, cool.
For the studio. But
guinea pigs.
We did a little sound check. It sounded good in the headphones, so I think we'll get a great recording tonight. And why don't we'll start out with that? What do you want to play to open the show?
We'll start with a song called "The Road." I actually co-wrote the song with another fellow musician by the name of Steve DeLong, and
that's a familiar name. Is he?
He is playing with the band called the Opined Few or Opined Few.
Okay.
I don't know. It's probably Opined or Pinned. I don't know.
It's probably Opined.
Yeah, they're a great local band too.
Okay.
They're definitely worth checking out for sure. Steve's another one of those guys that plays everything you can pass him.
Yeah.
And so I had been out in Salt Lake City. I'm a welder for a day job, and I've been out there, and I was working at in a ski resort, a really high-end upscale ski resort.
Yeah.
And they said, no matter what you do, don't go to the top floor because the guy from Papa John's owns that floor.
Yeah.
And don't go to the second floor because Michael Jordan owns that one.
No kidding.
Yeah, so it was in August, so there's nobody really around the resort. So I thought, well, I'm going to take my guitar and head up to the roof and catch a view and sit up there and play some music. And I accidentally got off on Michael Jordan's floor and happened to be walking down.
Oops.
And
you sure it was accidental?
Yeah, I mean, at that point in my life, I didn't really understand the proper meaning of accidental. So I was still learning the English language down here in America. So I just happened to mosey in, guitar in hand, and I just found myself sitting on Michael Jordan's bed, kind of writing this missing home kind of a song, and just kind of messing around with it. And then I'd come back and was over at Steve's house, and he had this cool little lick and kind of just threw it together.
Yeah.
So, it's pretty much a song about missing home,
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, let's take a listen. These guys are going to perform live for us.
Said, where you going? I said, I'm working my way back home. Living up to a promise that I made long ago. An empty hotel room with a tank full of gas, wouldn't you know? That typical story of life on the road. And I'm always gone out on the road. And I'm always gone out on the road. I'm missing my life as I drive away, thinking about things that I want to say. Out on the road, out on the road. Snowflakes are falling, and I hear your voice calling me home. Driving this highway, never felt more alone. Eastbound and down, with 1,000 more miles left to go. Cornfields and barley, and a long, lonesome road. And I'm always gone out on the road. And I'm always gone out on the road. I'm missing my life as I drive away, thinking about things that I want to say. We're out on the road, we're out on the road, we're out on the road.
IPMNation.com. IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt Connarton from IPM Nation here at the studio at now at 598 Main Street in downtown Laconia. And Cameron MacMaster is here tonight with Shane Carter. And we're going to be chatting for a bit, and then we'll hear another live song. And Cam, where are you from? Are you from Canada originally?
I am, but please don't hold that against me.
You may be the first Canadian we've interviewed.
So if good, it's a pleasure. If you come out to the show, try not to throw any poutine or anything like that. Because I will catch it with my mouth and eat it.
Yes.
I can promise you that. Tomatoes, I'll duck. Yeah. Poutine, no.
So are you an American citizen now, or what?
I am not. I'm a legal resident of the United States of America. I moved here in 2002 from Prince Edward Island, Canada.
Oh, so you've been here a long time.
Yeah. I got lured into moving here by my wife.
Yeah.
By my beautiful wife. I almost messed that up. And I've been here ever since.
Yeah.
Been here ever since, yeah.
Do you, well, let me ask it this way. Were you playing music professionally before when you were in Canada, or?
No, actually, when I left Prince Edward Island, I had asked my uncle Burnley, who I've written a couple of songs about, actually, if he would come in and help me pick out a guitar, because I wanted to try to learn how to play the guitar, and it's pretty tough to, in 2002, sit in an apartment and lived in Rhode Island for the first year. I was here, with probably no laptop or barely internet, I guess, at that point.
Yeah,
but, and not knowing anybody, it's a little tough to sit there and learn how to play the guitar by yourself, sort of thing. So it took me a little while to catch on to it, and I'm still catching on.
So you hadn't played at all until you came to the States?
Yeah, actually, just kind of picked at it for a while, and then I had actually to drop that name Steve DeLong again. I think around maybe 2007 or 8, I actually played my first show with him in Nashua at some kind of a biker bar. I can't remember what it was called now, actually. It was down by BA Systems, but played my first gig with him and kind of got hooked on it from then on. And I had always kind of tried to write songs and stuff in the past. And I never really thought I wanted to be one of those guys that has to play other people's songs note for note.
Right.
And I mean, that's definitely a talent in its own, but it's just not for me.
Sure.
So I quickly learned that if I wrote my own songs, then nobody could ever say, hey, you're playing that wrong.
Right. That's true.
And I can play it. I can play it wrong every time, and nobody knows.
Right.
So it's a win-win for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I really enjoy about songwriting, and being able to express yourself and tell stories and get back at people you don't like without them knowing and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's great for that. Yeah. Great for that, like as you'll hear in the next song.
So were you already writing lyrics before you learned to play guitar?
Yeah, I was. I always kind of had a beat in my head, sort of thing. And I grew up in a very musical family. My dad has 9 brothers and sisters. They all play the guitar. They all sing. My mother's side, I talked about my Uncle Burnley, plays any instrument that you can put in his hands brilliantly. And all my aunts and uncles on my mother's side, they all play. All my cousins, Kenny Fish, everybody just plays music, fiddles, you name it. On both sides of my family, I actually have both famous fiddle players on both. I can't play the fiddle to save my life, but on both sides of my family, one side, the MacMaster, the Natalie MacMaster.
Oh, yeah, okay.
If you've ever heard tell of her.
I'll be damned. Huh.
Yeah, she is a relative. My family's originally from Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, and Judic. And on my mom's side, there was Joe Arsenault. He was highly thought of in the fiddle community in Prince Edward Island and around the Maritimes even.
Oh, wow.
And,
okay.
Everybody plays the fiddle or guitar, sings. So every night at my house growing up was, like a hootenanny.
Yeah.
It was, and we were the house where everybody came to.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's many nights laying in bed in a little 3-bedroom ranch house, laying in bed till wide awake till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, listening to any kind of music they could play. Just anything. So there was always music, and just even growing up as a kid, I can remember my great-grandfather throwing quarters and nickels on the floor, getting us to step dance and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just that's the way we grew up. Everything was music. You went about your life, and things seemed to be a lot easier back then growing up. And, and everywhere you went, the guitar got brought along. And if you ever showed up somewheres without it, well, you'd have to drive home and get it.
Right.
Yeah, I remember many's the time, where we would go somewheres, and the first question before you even get in the house, I can remember saying, "Did you bring your guitar?"
Right.
No, we better go get it.
Yeah.
I'd be there till 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
And all the neighbors would be coming over. So that's kind of grew up always in music. So I always had some kind of a beat or something going in my head all the time. And so that's when I think I started, like, a line would pop into my head, and I'd write it down and write, probably the worst song you could ever imagine hearing, but you got to start somewheres. And,
right.
You got to write the bad ones out, they say.
Sure.
So I did possibly maybe had 6 or 7 songs before 2006 or 7. I might be up to around 80 or something by now, or probably 3,000 I haven't finished.
Right.
But and that's I really do. I love writing songs. It's how I can tell a good story, I think.
Yeah.
So
it was inevitable that you would be a songwriter and that you would eventually learn to play guitar.
Well, they say it's in your blood,
Yeah.
And I guess it kind of is, maybe.
It sounds it, yeah.
But then again, there's, lots of people that in my family, too, like that, or not lots, but there's a few that that don't play music, probably because they never tried, but...
Yeah.
I think, you really have to put the time into... If you want to get good, you got to really put the time and effort into it. Like anybody, I think anybody has the ability to pick a guitar up and play a few chords.
Right, yeah.
But there's like guys like Shane here that, you can't figure out what's going on inside of their head when they're doing the things they do, and it doesn't compute to me, so...
See, I'm like the extreme opposite of Shane. Like, I play bass, and that's all I can play. Because because, you were saying, you got to commit to it, and really, it's something you have to work at to learn an instrument. When I was a kid, I took guitar lessons for a little while, but I was one of those kids who, if I wasn't good at it right away, I would lose interest, get discouraged, and put it away. And then eventually I picked up a bass, and I was like, oh, 2 less strings and I don't have to know any chords. I may have found my instrument. It turned out I had found my instrument.
Nice.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I always admire, when you have the drive and commitment to actually learn. If you're someone who doesn't just sort of magically know already, like Shane, how to play whatever.
It just makes sense,
Prince is like that. Prince, I guess, can play like anything you put into his hands. Or there's probably a lot of people like that, but I'm always jealous of them.
I'm very lucky to have a lot of friends that are just like that you can put an instrument in their hands. They never got a chance to they'll say, oh, I never got a chance to play a bouzouki before, and then all of a sudden they're ripping the thing apart,
Right.
Like, how do you do that? But, I guess there's a mathematical equation in the notes there somewheres, and it makes sense for the guys that sit down and memorize things, you really, I think, when anybody asks me, like, geez, I want to learn how to play the guitar, I always say, you have to learn your instrument. You have to know what it's about. Unless you just want to sit down and play 3-chord Merle Haggard songs, which I love to do. That's,
sure.
And if you're happy doing that, I mean, I could be quite happy doing that.
Yeah.
But if you really want to do your own thing or get involved in some really good music scenes and or circles, you just study your instrument.
Yeah.
And I have not done that yet, but I'm gonna. I'm gonna someday.
Well, let's hear another song. What do you guys?
This like I had mentioned, how music can be a great revenge tool.
Yes.
This song is called "Passing By," and before I moved to the United States, I had a girlfriend, and things kind of went their own way or whatever at one point, and we were still young kids growing up and all that kind of stuff. And anyways, one time I was up home visiting, and I could see her on the other side of the intersection.
Yeah.
I said, I know that's her,
Yeah, yeah.
And, I'm meeting, as the light turns green, I kind of, look at her going by. I'm like, yep, that was her.
Yeah.
I knew it was her.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, it's kind of cool to see her. I haven't seen her in, 12 years or whatever it was at that, or 10 years probably.
Yeah.
Then I kind of got thinking a little more, and I thought, it's pretty good to see her passing by.
Yeah.
Kind of glad, by the graces of social media, of kind of seeing what kind of a whack job she really turned out to be. And,
right.
Maybe I got a favor from up above or something to not end up with her. But
there you go.
Who knows? Who knows? So, this song is called Passing By.
All right, let's take a listen.
It was good to see you passing by. Brought back some memories and a tear in my eye. But now things are different, and I can't say why. Sometimes the feeling grows wings and flies. Like the ocean needs a shoreline, I still need you. Like a blanket to a baby, I'll always miss you. Right here in my mind, way back in a better time. It was good to see you passing by. Tell you what was on my mind, but I guess that can wait for another time. When things are unspoken, they can mess with your mind. So the rest of the story might tell you sometime, maybe. Like the ocean needs a shoreline, I still need you. Like a blanket to a baby, I'll always miss you. Right here in my mind, in a better time. It was good to see you passing by. Yeah, it was good to see you passing by. Passing by.
IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt from IPM Nation. We're sitting here at the studio tonight in downtown Laconia with Cameron MacMaster, and he is accompanied by Shane Carter on the mandolin. And Shane, how did you guys get connected? Because you were saying off air before the show you took a pretty big break from music.
No, wait a second. I thought this was about me. I thought this was my interview here.
Yeah, this is Cam's show. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, so I did. I took a big break musically, and just focused on family, and just felt like it was time for me to get back into music, and just started. It was just before St. Patrick's Day, and I was feeling my Irish roots a bit, and decided I wanted to re-explore some Irish music, and was just checking out something on Craigslist, and happened to connect with Cam that way, and
with the Greenfields.
Yeah, with the Greenfields, which is
New Hampshire's best Celtic band.
Exactly.
Oh.
And so anyway, Cam was going off on his own to do something, and asked if I could tag along, and he said, "Yeah, all right, you're okay. I guess you can hang out with me."
Shane always brings beer to practice, so
oh, wow.
I think I don't have to elaborate any more on that.
Sure.
Yeah, it helps things. It lubricates.
Yes. Do you guys write together at all, or do you write? Do you write everything, Cam?
No, we're too new in our relationship to be able to do that.
Yeah.
No, we haven't had any fights or anything yet.
Good.
That's what brings out the songwriting is fights and heartbreak and
sure,
lies and squandering and stealing. And
right.
That's
Yeah.
I'm sure I can arrange something though soon.
Okay. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's a good plan.
Hey, it gets songs, it gets product.
It's all about the music.
It gets product.
How many songs have you written, Cam? Do you think? Any idea?
I think legibly, or like songs that I would play out in front of anybody. Maybe, probably around 30.
Yeah.
I would say. I'm actually working on a CD right now.
Okay.
Recording it over at Mill Pond Studios in Portsmouth with Jim Prendergast.
Okay.
And I'm going to have... I'm doing 3 covers. Actually, there's a Merle Haggard song on it.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
A Stan Rogers song and a Fiddler's Sons, another band from Prince Edward Island I grew up listening to.
Okay.
Eddie Quinn actually is going to be playing here Saturday night in Plymouth, or I shouldn't say here, but it's closer than where I live,
Yeah.
But probably excuse me, about probably 25 to 30 songs that I'm comfortable performing in front of people. I would say that would be it. And on the CD, there's going to be 7 original songs. I have some guest appearances. Jim Prendergast plays on it. David Surratt's going to be playing on it. Shane's playing on it a little bit. I think Jordan Terrell-Wasaki and Joe DeLoe, they are going to be making an appearance on it as well.
Yeah.
As long as there's been a couple of Nashville musicians, like Garth Brooks fiddle players, on one of the tracks.
Wow, no kidding.
Yeah, it's Jim has a fantastic studio over there. I would highly recommend it to anybody. But he really knows how to cater to singer-songwriters.
Yeah.
Another guy that can play every instrument. And I've never seen him miss a note.
No kidding.
Ever.
Yeah.
And just brilliant. And he's got a great studio over there for doing that. So I have 2 more tracks to finish, and then Jim's going to master it, and it's going to be sent off to Crooked Cove to get pressed, and then we're going to start hopefully a slew of maybe some small house concerts and stuff, and
cool.
CD launch in Manchester, and one in Prince Edward Island in late June.
Great.
So that is where I'm at with that project for right now.
Yeah. Will this be your first studio release? Or?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
It's going to be my first CD. It could be my second though, Matt. It could be the first and the last.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Right.
We'll see. I've bugged a lot of my friends. Hey, listen to this. What do you think of this? And you never hear anything negative, but
right.
So you got to get it on YouTube and listen to the strangers and. See
yes,
what they're saying.
Yes and no. Sometimes people on YouTube make some strange comments that have nothing to do with,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've gotten called lots of names on YouTube.
Have you? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I try to put some stuff out on YouTube, and it's a great thing and it's a terrible thing at the same time. There's some bad videos of me on there people have recorded at concerts where I messed up or something.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Oh, well, hey.
Yeah.
Take the good with the bad,
Right.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it will be my first first CD.
Yeah.
We'll see how she goes from there, you know. Well, I'm lucky to be working on, like, Jim Prendergast has worked on, I forget what he said, maybe like 2,500 recordings or something like that. And
wow.
The other guys, David Surratt, you might have heard his
yes.
name. Yeah, fantastic guy in general. Can put his fingers to anything.
Wow.
I think he could probably pick the microphone stand up and make some music come out of it, you know.
Yeah. So now, how did you connect with that studio? Because there's quite a few different studios around. Why Mill Pond? It's called.
It's Mill Pond Studios in Portsmouth, and I connected with them through what's that? It's kind of like the 7 Degrees of Kevin Bacon sort of a story, I guess. But I had put an ad on Craigslist. You know how great Craigslist is for finding people to play with.
Yeah.
And and anyways, I put an ad on there, and I just happened to write anybody looking to play some East Coast style music, and I put Great Big C and Natalie MacMaster, and Joe DeLoe actually had replied to me, and he knows Natalie and writes music with her, and he sent me an email, and I wrote it back, and just kind of, are you a cousin sort of thing or whatever.
Right.
Got together and played one time, and then didn't hear from him for about probably a year or two.
Oh, no
And then he called me up to do a recording on a CD that he was doing, and just from playing with him, and then we kind of formed a little kind of a traditional Celtic band. Jordan or Joe and I and Jim and Ellen Carlson, who you might have heard that name.
I think so.
Fantastic fiddle player in the New England area. And so we played some concerts and some house concerts, and I was kind of featured as a special guest.
Yeah.
And now that I think of it, maybe, I don't know why they called me special. But maybe it was for another reason, you know.
Could be.
So I've gotten to know these people from that, and a couple of music camps that I've gone to, like Fiddleheads Music Camp here in New Hampshire. It's fantastic. It's definitely worth Googling. It's not just about fiddles.
Okay.
They have some great all-night jam sessions.
I was going to say, I didn't know there was such a...
Yeah, I believe it's in Alton.
Okay.
But don't quote me on that. I've been to a couple of them, and it's called Fiddleheads.
Okay.
Between that and Miles of Music, you run into some really fantastic people and get to take some lessons from some real, like, Aoife O'Donovan and Sarah Jarosz, and I've got pretty lucky to be at the right place at the right time sort of thing, I think, and made some good connections, and maybe by my goofy demeanor, I get asked to do these little shows once in a while or go play a gig like on this Saturday night, which will be probably 3 weeks after this interview is posted. I'm playing in Boston at Canadian American Club. I'm opening up for kind of a Celtic supergroup sort of a thing. And
good.
Shane and I will be there, and we're there pretty often. It's a good place. You see a lot of Eastern Canadian talent come through there. Great place. Just I don't know. You feel like you're at home when you're there. You know, you feel like you're stepping into a Lions club or a Legion or something like or like a VFW.
Right.
Back home they call them a Legion.
Okay.
And it just, I don't know, to me it just kind of feels really homey in there, you know. It's kind of like walking into 1980 sort of a vibe, you know.
Yeah.
And everybody is just your best friend.
Yeah.
You know, everybody
That's cool.
just doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. Just it's, I don't know, it just, you walk through those doors and it's just a very inviting atmosphere.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's great. I'm really looking forward to that. And so I've played down there quite a few times, and it's been fun. You run into some really fantastic people.
Yeah. Good.
And that's, you know, mostly geared down there towards you know, like Celtic music and Eastern Canadian kind of music. And I don't know how to really. I've had my music called everything from folk to Americana to contemporary to Eastern Canadian to you name it. To bad to suck to whatever, whatever label. I've heard them all, I think. But
I was going to say Americana's kind of become the catch-all term for.
It is seems to be the popular train to jump on at the moment. That's
For radio formats, I mean, Americana is a pretty big format that encompasses a lot of this kind of stuff. Singer-songwriter, acoustic kind of.
covers a lot of bases, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like the catch-all.
Yeah.
So,
Well, why don't we hear another? You guys are going to play. I know later we're going to hear a studio track that you have for us, but you're going to play one more live tune for us. What do you guys? What are you going to play?
this song is called Low Gear, and I don't really have a very fascinating story about how it came to fruition, but I guess I was just kind of hanging around the house one day, kind of being lazy, and kind of said, you know, I gotta get my arse off the couch and do something. Kind of stuck in low gear here, not wanting to really do too much that particular day. So I just kind of, that line came into my head. I'm kind of stuck in low gear again. Time to get the feet moving.
We can all relate. It's relatable.
Sometimes, you know, you just need a little shove. You need a friend to recognize you're in that gear and give you a little boost, or, you know, get you up out of the house, sort of thing.
Right.
Get you to get moving.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess you could say this song is just kind of about being lazy.
Okay.
You know, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
You tell me when you hear it. You tell me what it's about. How we doing, Matt?
Good. Really well.
Is this all right?
Yeah.
Gonna be airable?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I told you, Cam.
Low gear, take 48. The hours have passed, the time flying by with the sun on my back. I look to the sky and I see reflections of home. No work to be had, love's hard to give. I'll drive out of here with my spinning head for a place I long to call home. 'Cause I'm stuck in low gear again, and I could use some friends for a push to get me out of the same old rut that I'm in. Oh yeah, I'm stuck low gear again. Look for the answers from up above, but from down here they get jumbled up in a mind knows no reason for the rhyme. So what should I do? Make another mistake, stick to my guns, make my escape. If you're there, God, I'm willing, listen this time. 'Cause I'm stuck in low gear again. I could use some friends for a push to get me out of the same old ruts that I'm in. Oh yeah, I'm stuck, sitting here stuck. Oh yeah, I'm stuck in low gear again. sitting here stuck. Oh yeah, I'm stuck. Low gear again. Low gear again. Low gear again.
IPMNation.com.
Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet. This is Matt from IPM Nation. And, of course, we are here at the studio in its new location at 598 Main Street in downtown Laconia. So please come check it out. Say hello to Melissa. And very, very cool place and a very cool new location. Really like it here. And we've been chatting tonight and hearing them play live. We have Cameron MacMaster with us, and with him is Shane Carter on mandolin. And where should people go online to see what you guys got coming up as far as shows or to keep up with the album you have coming out and all that good stuff?
Facebook's the best place to go. I think you can do the old Facebook / Cameron MacMaster.
Okay.
I have a kind of a band page there where I keep things updated. I have a GoFundMe going right now, actually. And might be over by the time this airs.
Yeah.
But, that's been pretty successful. I've been have an awful lot of luck with just awesome friends and really helping me get this thing going to put out a really good product. I hope, trying to do the best I can anyways, and kind of hit the ground running sort of thing.
Good.
So Facebook is the best place for sure, or Facebook.
Okay.
Almighty Facebook.
All right.
It is, everybody's website almost now.
Yeah, yeah.
If I go to check somebody out, I usually go to Facebook and check them out.
Right. Yeah.
But when we just came back live on the air here, this is a really phenomenal, cool store.
Yeah.
This really is an awesome little store, and Laconia itself, I don't know much about it other than this is the place to be for Bike Week.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this town is really cool, actually.
Yeah. It's a nice downtown.
It's clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really, really nice area.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. I'd like to move up here.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go.
If you have a place for rent,
Right. Well, so we're going to end with a studio track. By the way, I don't think I asked you, what's the name of the album? Or do you have a title for it yet?
I do have a title for it. It's called Fireside Ministries.
Okay.
Back home, a lot of music is taking place around the bonfires on the beaches.
Yeah.
That's
probably
my favorite thing to do is sit on the beach and play my guitar or listen to somebody play a guitar and have a bonfire and probably a couple of adult beverages.
Yeah.
Just a couple.
Yeah, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff kids shouldn't be drinking.
Right.
So I'm gonna call it Fireside Ministries, and it's just
And
basically all that really means is just stories from home, sort of thing. Sitting around a fire, I think really brings out a lot of good stories, and I always say there's never an awkward silence at a fire.
Yeah. There you go.
So there's a lot of special bonding that happens around bonfires.
Sure.
It's hopefully a reflection on the songs of some of the songs that are on the CD. The stories about people and places and experiences and things that you would tell around the bonfire, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not a pyromaniac or anything. Just want to clear that up.
Right.
I'm not an arsonist.
Well, what do you want to play to wrap up the show? You have a studio track that you brought.
Yeah, a studio track, and it is a song called "A Town This Small."
Okay.
And it's about the town where I grew up and the little towns around it. I grew up in a little village by the name of Cardigan, like the sweater, the sweater, and went to school in the neighboring town of Montague, and just a lot of it's a tremendous place with really special people that when I go home, I'll tell my wife, I'm going to run to the store and grab something, and I'm gone for 2 hours because you just run into so many people. You just take your watch and throw it away, or in my case, my phone. But I'm not going to do that. But
Right.
Where neighbors still get together and help each other out and don't expect pay for it, other than maybe pizza and a case of beer. To share, at the end of the day, and tell stories and stuff like that. It's a phenomenal little place. Up in Prince Edward Island, and all the babies are born 9 months after hockey season is over. And it's unless your dad's not a hockey fan like mine. I was born in May, so I wasn't a hockey baby,
right?
Or maybe the Montreal Canadiens didn't win that year. I know my dad's a little bit of a Montreal Canadiens fan, so God bless his heart. Maybe they didn't win that year. That could be quite possible. But so the song is called "A Town This Small," and it is just my interpretation of how nothing changes in a small town. And how I really love that about when I go home and everything is still the same. And people are still helping each other out. People are still having benefit concerts to support people that have fallen ill or had a fire, or there's a personal connection there rather than maybe just dropping some coats off at a big metal box. You actually show up and give them to the person. There's that personal connection is still there. And sometimes your neighbors know a little too much about you.
Sure,
but it can be a bad thing, I guess, but it's also a good thing because everybody seems to look out for each other a lot there, and that's kind of like the qualities that have been instilled in me. And never brag about yourself, never put yourself first, and it's a very tough place to accept a compliment. Like it's very typical back home if somebody says, "Oh, geez, did a really good job playing that song." It's kind of a given that you should say, well, so-and-so can do it a lot better. Rather than saying thank you, Because in the old days, when the fiddler was the most important guy in town right after the priest, that's just the way they were. You just don't accept a compliment. Never brag about yourself. Don't put yourself first, and don't ask for anything in return for music. It's kind of like how my grandfather's generation grew up, So, but it slowly coming up with the times, and but it's still I still love the fact that when I go home, people are the same. They're doing kind of the same things, and they give you the shirt off their back, and it's one of the line in the song is. Nothing ever changes in a town this small, and I love that. I love that character of it.
All right, so we'll take a listen to this. So this is a studio track. So Cameron MacMaster, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And Shane Carter, wonderful to see you. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. And here it is, a town this small.
A Town This Small.
A Town This Small from Cameron MacMaster here on Local Outbreak on IPM Nation and 100.1 The Planet.
Light on the harbor, shines on the river. It's been there forever, guiding you home. Yeah, it's guiding you home. There's a life on the water. If your back will be able, it puts food on the table and a place to call home. Gives a place to call home. Life on the normal, nothing's wrong. that's small, in a town that's small. Now the oil fields are calling, the young folks are leaving. They all got their reasons, but they always come home. Yeah, they always come home. Life on the normal, nothing's wrong. Life never changes at all in a town that's small, in a town that's small. I love my town that's small.
IPMNation.com.